It's Kina Knisley with Team K Squared of Keller Williams, and I'm here with Steve from Edge Home Finance. He is our awesome VA lender. I think some of you have met him at the newcomers table. So Steve, what is happening with interest rates?
Interest rates are doing fantastic right now. So we had a not too hot jobs report from the Fed. We had bad unemployment numbers, which is good and bad. Bad for them, good for us on interest rates.
We want higher unemployment rates.
Yes.
We want high unemployment rates.
Bad news for the market is good news for interest rates.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. But we had bad unemployment numbers and bad job creation numbers last month, which led the interest rates to drop by about 0.2%.
Woo!
So we're sitting at like 5.5, 5.7% interest rates right now.
That is awesome.
On a VA loan.
So that means we don't really need the seller credits
Right.
to buy down, but we can still ask for them, and we can even buy your rate even down into the fours.
Yeah.
So what should people be doing right now? What should you all be doing right now?
Everybody, even if they have a very small intention to buy, they should all get pre-approved. If they ever want to buy in the next year, you should get pre-approved right now.
So if they get pre-approved right now, we do not lock your rate. And how long is that pre-approval good for?
It's good for 4 months.
Okay.
That's just a soft credit pull. It's good for 4 months, and it's super easy to renew. We just pull a new credit report. It takes 10 seconds to do.
Yeah, so a soft credit pull does not affect your credit score.
Doesn't affect your credit score, and it's free to you. We pay for it, no cost to the borrower.
Yeah, so we definitely recommend that you at least talk to Steve. He's not scary. He's not going to impact your credit score, and you are not tied to buying a house if you just go get pre-approved. But he can give you an idea of what you can afford, and then I can send you properties in that price range that you can afford, and we could go out and take a look, and you can kind of see, because we know that renting makes you no money. And if you buy, I just had a couple leave with $284,000 in their pocket. I had a soldier and his wife leave Friday. They flew out of here today with $78,000. They bought 3 years ago. We've had a guy after 2.5 years, he left with $67,000 in a home he bought in Sea Country 2.5 years ago, and then sold it, and he left with $67,000. So none of my buyers are losing money. I tend to find you the great deals, and Steve has such a great interest rate that we are able to, you leave with money in your pocket. Renting or living on base, you're leaving with zero. That's it. So what do they need to get you to get pre-approved?
So the pre-approval, all it consists of is completing our questionnaire, which takes about 15 minutes, 10 if you're fast about it. And then we need a copy of your driver's license, a copy of your last month's LES, and your last 2 years of W-2s. Those 4 things are all we need to get everything completely finalized, let you know exactly how much you are pre-approved for and what you can afford to buy while you're moving forward with your purchase.
Yeah, and so like if you're an E5, about what is their approval normally?
It depends on what other debts they have, but normally it's about $600,000 to $700,000 in that price range.
So that's, if you're an E5, you can get about a $700,000 house. I'm going to go ahead and flash what $700,000 can buy you on this island. Okay, so what if they're E6, married? What kind of price points again are we looking at?
Slightly above that, probably $600,000 to $650,000, possibly $700,000.
Yeah. So if we want to get, so today we are sitting in a $1.4 million house, and so what are we looking at here? This would definitely be maybe dual military, dual income,
right?
But about what rank?
So possibly a senior captain to major. Yeah. Major for sure.
Yeah, so if you're an officer or if you're dual military, this home is an absolute possibility. And I'm gonna tack on a little bit of the video so you can see what you can get for that. But it is definitely a possibility to buy. And if you have at least 2.5 years left here, it definitely benefits you. To buy a home, because we appreciate 3 to 4%, and like I said, knock on some wood. I think it's wood. It might be fake wood. My soldiers have never had to bring money to the table. They've been able to either one, keep it and rent it out, or they're leaving with cash in their pocket, which is then you can go and you can pay off some debt, or I don't recommend. Do you recommend they take that money and put it down on another home using their VA loan?
There are some benefits to that. If you put a 5% down payment on a VA loan, it lowers your funding fee from 3.3% to 1.5%. So
wow.
There's an advantage there. And then it also obviously lowers your loan amount, so you're going to be paying less.
Yeah. So how much do they need to put down for if they want to totally wipe their funding fee away?
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah,
totally
you can.
wipe it away.
If you go up to 10% down, it drops to 1.25%.
Okay.
But that's the lowest you can get, unless you have a VA disability rating.
Okay.
That is when it completely.
Yeah. So if
goes
you do have any type of VA disability rating, there's no funding fee. If you don't, and you don't have the money to put down, we can roll the funding fee into your loan.
Yes.
So it's not coming out of your pocket. It just comes. It's part of your loan. You're gonna make
right.
small payments. And another thing we have to keep in mind is I know these prices look scary. You walk up and you see an $800,000 home. You're not paying $800,000 all at once. That's over 30 years. So if you're here 3 to 5 years, you're paying a very small portion of that amount, and then you're going to sell it to someone else, and you're going to keep the equity that you built.
Yeah, and that's when I PCS'd out here in 2020. I was in the exact same boat. I saw a house for $600,000 coming from Columbus, Georgia, where I bought my house for $108,000. It was astronomically, I thought it was impossible. But when you actually sit down, look at your BAH, look at your interest rate, and take in all the details, it's not that scary when you digest it in small
it's in
pieces.
these little pieces. And then what you also have to keep in mind is very rarely do I get soldiers that they're sunsetting, that they're getting to retire. This is not going to be your forever home. It's your right now home, and it's your stepping stone to your bigger and better home. So we came 11 years ago from Heidelberg, Germany. I was a Dodge teacher. My husband's a contractor. And we bought our first home here in Hawaii. It was the first home we ever bought. For $478. We lived in it for 5 years. We built the equity. We sold it for $620, and then we bought what is most likely our forever home here in Hawaii. So it's a little bit more expensive, and I can do a whole video on how we did that. How I got an $800,000 house. I put $180,000 into it. I just appraised last week for $1.45 million. And I'm in under $1 million, and I can do a video on how we did that. And I used our VA loan, but I used a hard money loan to start with. So we can talk about how you can get a fixer-upper and then use your VA loan and get a great deal. But it's not your forever home. It's your right now home. It's a stepping stone to your next home. And eventually it is going to, you'll eventually roll into your forever home. So, what can you stand to live in right now? These homes aren't going to be perfect. They're small. Our homes are small. He just showed me a 6,000 square foot house that was like $700,000. 6,000 square feet. We don't have those.
You got to move to Cincinnati for that.
It's not Hawaii. There's no ocean. Sorry. But 6,000 square feet, that's a mansion for $700,000. You're not going to get that here. You're just not. I mean, this home is 1.4. It's 1,600 square feet on a 6,000 square foot lot. It's beautiful though. And I don't know. I could make this my forever home. It's kind of pretty.
Oh,
I like this house.
I would move in here tomorrow.
I would live here.
So nice.
But so if you have any questions, it's free to talk to Steve. He's not scary, and I think some of you are afraid of us. We're not, and we're not going to strong arm you into buying something you can't afford. I'm not even going to force you to buy.
Yeah, that's the other. There's no obligation.
Yeah.
Completing your pre-approval, you can tell me to leave you alone at any time.
Yeah.
I will.
And we will. You know, so.
It doesn't lock you into anything. It doesn't obligate you to anything. All it does is inform you so that you can make an educated, informed decision about either renting while you're here or
Yeah.
preferably buying.
And
So
I'm
that's
going
it.
to throw up the rent versus buy so you can see, because it actually costs you a lot of money to rent. So, all right. Thanks, Steve. This is great.
Yeah.
And we will see you all soon. And all right. Have a great day.
See you, everybody.